I felt that calling to go do something more. I had been very fortunate and blessed in my career up to that point to be financially stable, and our family was great in a really good position. I told Scott, this can't be it. This can't be what I'm going to do for the next 15 years. There's got to be something more to this. It was Halloween of 2023. I recall not knowing where I wanted the next 10 years of my life, career to go. I remember getting on that call and thinking like, I just really want somebody to help guide me to where I needed to go. I'd had personal coaches in my life. I'd had people at work that were mentors, but I always felt this sense I didn't have the fulfillment that I'd always wanted. I felt an immediate connection with Scott that he wasn't there to sell me, he wasn't there to put me through. He was asking open-ended questions that really helped me start to identify areas I should be exploring further. That's something that I really valued from the very start with Scott. I got all the way through discovery with the company. I had everything set up, ready to go. I called Scott on a Tuesday and said, "Yep, we're good to go. By Friday, we'll sign the final contract."
He was a perfect client. He was doing everything he could, due diligence with funding and setting businesses up, and he was ready. But I knew there was that fear factor kicking in, the uncomfortable.
When I was going through the discovery phase, specifically with one company, I had a vision one morning when I was going through my devotions. It was really two verses that came to mind, and I heard the scripture that was meant not to be. I was in the Des Moines airport that week. I got to the airport early that morning, and I felt not to sit, but rather to walk around. I walked into a bookstore and I pulled off a devotion on the shelf, and the devotion that day was the verse that God was telling me, don't do it. I remember the date specifically. I was really, really sad when that happened. When I look back at that now, I don't have any regrets because I learned a lot through that.
Discovery's undefeated. That's where you're going to learn, you're going to educate. And Dwight had taken it all the way to the very end. He has no regrets, and neither do I. That's not regret, that's clarity.
Even if it doesn't translate into end up owning your own business, the growth that you're going to get just by having the conversation and going through the model that Scott has, you are going to ask yourself some very hard questions. At times, men have to step out and really ask themselves the hard questions and say, am I on the right road? Can I be doing more? And am I living life to the fullest extent? So I highly encourage people to schedule the call and just start the conversation. You never know where the conversation is going to go.